Right, so today what we're going to do is, I know I bang on about Marvel's Avengers, I know no one probably cares, because the game is almost playerless at the moment, but I still play it, I still enjoy it. I think it has a lot of problems, but overall I like the game. I think the game is something I want to support and see do well, but at the moment it has a lot of things that it needs to fix, but I'm not going to talk about those today. Today is going to be a fun, chill video where we talk about 5 characters I want to see become playable in the game. And first off, what we're going to do, I know the title says that need to be in the game. These characters don't need to be in the game, but because the characters that need to be in the game are already in the game or are rumoured or like pretty much confirmed to be in the game anyway. I'm not going to say any of the characters that have already been confirmed as well, because you know they're already guaranteed to be in the game. This is just me spouting out characters that would be cool to see. So my first pick is, I think this one's fairly obvious. There's actually 4 characters. It's the Fantastic Four. I am a big fan of the Fantastic Four as characters. I've never really read them in the comics that much, but just seeing the way that I really want to see the Fantastic Four in a good game, because they haven't. They've been in Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but that was about it. And just seeing their abilities be put into a AAA experience would be really cool to see. I feel like visually all these characters can be really cool. They can all be very different to the characters that are already in the game. With Reed, you can go full on wacky and crazy with his stretching abilities. You can go even further than what you do with Kamala Khan, because he's a lot smarter, so he knows how to use his powers more, and he's got the experience to use it. I feel like Invisible Woman, Sue, you have another character who can go invisible, you have force fields, she can be a more defensive character. There's not really a lot of characters in the game that are really like defensive. They're all like offensive. Even the tanks like Cap and Hulk, it's all about just maxing out the amount of damage that they can do. I feel like Invisible Woman could be a really good support character. Johnny Storm, really good damage. No one in the game really does like fire damage on the base. Like they're all just really just all about just dealing as much damage as possible. Johnny Storm could be about placing dots on the enemies. I feel like he would be really fun. And the thing could be more like brawly than the Hulk. The Hulk is very savage and kind of limp with his attacks. I feel like you could give the Thing more of that like street fighting kind of moveset, where he's more like not acrobatic than the Hulk, but he's more like, he puts more thought into his movements than the Hulk. And also you have like he is Rocky, so his like defense could be way higher than Hulk, and you could give him like invulnerability on the base, you could give him immunity on the base. I'm just thinking about how these characters could work like in a really technical level, because at the moment in the game you don't really have utility based characters. You just have who can do the most damage and you'll play as them, or you just max out the amount of damage that your character can do and then not really think about anything else. Like, no one thinks about defense, no one thinks about healing, no one thinks about like controlling the enemies. I feel like we need to put more characters into the game that are about controlling the enemy, that are about like supporting your characters and just giving players a role, giving players roles, and making it so that not every player, when you're playing multiplayer, is just going in and just smacking the same enemy, or just, you know, you need to be able to help each other out. And in the game at the moment, the only person who can do that is Kamala, and even then, you're not going to put everything into her heals. So yeah, the Fantastic Four, I'm counting that as one pick, because if you're going to put one of them in, you're going to put all of them in, and if they do put the Fantastic Four in the game, they're going to put all the Fantastic Four in as one update one. I don't think they're going to release Reed, then release Sue, then release Johnny, then release the Thing in the space of 4 months. I feel like it's just going to be 1 month, you're dropping the whole Fantastic Four, and that's going to be a massive update. Like, that's how they should do it. And then also, that ties in with my next pick, which is going to be Nightcrawler. I feel like I want the X-Men to be in the game. I want as many X-Men as possible, but I wanted to go with a specific pick. And that specific pick is Nightcrawler, because if they put the X-Men in, Wolverine is guaranteed, Cyclops is guaranteed, probably even Deadpool is guaranteed. Nightcrawler is a character that doesn't get nearly enough love. He's not really in any games in a big bad way. He's in the X-Men Legend games, and he is really fun to play in X-Men Legends 2. But I really want to see how they deal with his character moveset in a big bad way in a AAA game. I feel like his teleporting could be done in a different way to it could be done in a similar way to how they've done Kate's teleporting, with it being short range, because that's how it is in the comics. With his sword play, he could play a lot like Kate, just with a lot more, maybe a lot more fast pace than Kate. He could be Kate on steroids, essentially, and without the bow. I don't know what his projectile attack would be. Maybe calling out the little bumps, but I don't know how that would look in a game like this. I don't know if it would fit with the tone. But yeah, I really want to see Nightcrawler. I feel like with how they've handled Kate literally plays like Nightcrawler would play. She's got the katana sword, she's got the teleporting. They can pretty much just retool that and they've got Nightcrawler. Next is kind of a weird one. I don't think this will happen. I want it to happen, but I don't think it will happen. I think the Guardians of the Galaxy are not going to be in the game. But if they are in the game, then Groot needs to be. If they're only going to put one member of the Guardians in, they're probably going to put Groot in, because Groot works with the template that they have. They have like the mold for Groot as a character, and he works. He can do a projectile attack. He can have really good physical attacks. He can do really good AoE. He can work as a base damage dealer and maybe even a healer. He could probably go down a damage healer route, which would be really fun, because I don't think there's any other character that can do that. Maybe Hulk. He might be another Hulk, but I feel like he can be more like AoE based than Hulk, and his regeneration could be even better than Hulk's. So you don't have to hold down a certain move, and you don't have to like be enraged to like access his heals. That would be fun. I just think his animations would be really cool. Next, penultimately, Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider would be really fun. I think they put in Johnny Blaze and uniforms for Danny Ketch and Robbie Reyes are put in the game as well. Maybe a Venomized one. Maybe a Venomized Ghost Rider as well. I don't think they'll do that because Venom is kind of a touchy subject, because Spider-Man's going to be in the game. But I don't know if they're going to put any of the Spider-Man villains in the game. I don't know if Venom's going to be in the game. Maybe rights need to be put in, but you can't have too many Spider-Man characters put in because they'd all be exclusive to PS4, unless if PS4 gets it first, or if PlayStation gets it first. So if PlayStation gets all of the content drop for Spider-Man, which is Spider-Man, the story content, and maybe a raid where you fight the Sinister Six. Maybe that would happen. That might be wishful thinking, but I would like to see that happen. And then Xbox and PC get that in like 2 or 3 months after the PlayStation people get it. So everyone gets access to Spider-Man at some point, because that is a massive way to bring back players, and it's a massive way, and it's a massive incentive to keep Sony players playing. But what about the other consoles? You need to give them something. So either give them a character that would give them a character that is equally as hype as Spider-Man, who they really don't have at the moment or afterwards, or maybe Wolverine. Maybe Wolverine is the other console exclusive, the Xbox exclusive. If that is the case, that's shit. But it's also shit that Spider-Man is a console exclusive. It makes sense for him to be a console exclusive, but it would be shit. It is shit for the other players that don't have a PlayStation, that they can't get that character, that he's blocked off, and maybe he could be game breaking, and like you have a load of people that just can't play as this really OP game breaking character because they're exclusive to this group of people that invested money into a console that a lot of people weren't interested in. But anyways, Ghost Rider. I feel like Ghost Rider would be really cool. I know I spent most of this pick talking about Spider-Man, but yeah, Ghost Rider, I really want to see him. I want to see how they would make the bike work. I don't know if they would be able to make the bike work. Maybe as he's running, when you hold down the left trigger button, when you hold down the left stick to make him run, then he just pulls out the bike and he starts driving with the bike, the Hell Cycle. I don't know if they put it into his combos. They might put it into his Assault Heroic, or they'll put it into his other heroic is his final heroic is just bringing out the Hell Cycle, and he does combos with the Hell Cycle. Either that, or he'll go into like full penance mode, which would be really cool, and they could go either way with that. Again, not many characters do fire damage on their base. I feel like he could bring in a bind mechanic. Him or Spider-Man could bring that in, where you just like web characters together, or he will chain enemies together, or just lock an enemy down so that they have to stay in that place. That would be really cool to see, because like enemies can do that to you, but you can't really do that to enemies unless you're playing as Kate. But that would be really cool to see, like that mechanic be brought in. Flame damage, being able to do the penance stare, like maybe give Ghost Rider an ability like the penance stare where it will drain an enemy's health, but it will also take a little bit of health away from you. I don't know if like players would like that, but I know that a lot of RPGs have that kind of mechanic where they have like a really powerful attack, but it takes a little bit of health off you as well. And I don't know if this is the kind of game that likes doing that, because like I said, defense literally isn't an option, because so if you do that attack, it would either have to clear the screen or you're literally going to die afterwards. And because this game has things called gauntlets, where if your character dies, that's it. You have to pick someone else and start again. Maybe that would make Ghost Rider kind of shit for that kind of content. But yeah, I would want to see Ghost Rider in the game. I feel like he'd really fit, and like getting the skull on the PS5 would be amazing. My final pick, Daredevil. A lot of people asking for Daredevil, and obviously I'm going to pick Daredevil because he's my favourite superhero. That's the reason. That's the reason. I don't think he'd be necessarily fun to play. I don't even think he'd be necessarily good. He never is in these kind of games. But I want to see him because I want the option. I want the option to play as my favourite superhero. These games always say play as your favourite hero, and Daredevil's never put in these kind of games. But I want the option to play as my favourite superhero. That's the reason. That's the tweet, ladies and gentlemen. That's the video. I want Daredevil because I want Daredevil, and you have no counter argument. Like, why do you want Daredevil? Because I like Daredevil. I want to play as Daredevil in a AAA game. Why not play another Daredevil? Because he doesn't have any games. That's why. But yeah, I freaking love Daredevil. I want to see him in the game. If he's god tier, if he's like the new meta of Marvels Avengers, then cool. If he's not, then I don't mind. Just give us Daredevil. Give us a Wilson Fisk boss fight. Give us make the hand like a new enemy type, and maybe tease Elektra. I don't mind if Elektra's a boss fight, or if Elektra's a playable character, like later on. I'd prefer her to maybe be a playable character, and have Bullseye be another boss fight, be another villain in the game. But that's going way into the future, and because they're already teasing stuff like Maestro, I don't think you can go Maestro and then Wilson Fisk. That's a bit of a going all the way and then straight down again. It's like I don't know how they would fit Daredevil into the story. I just really want him to be in the game. I just really want him there. Anyways, that's my list. That's my opinion. That's what I want to see in Marvels Avengers characters wise. Again, a lot of characters are missing from this list. A lot of characters have already been confirmed. Stuff like Winter Soldier, stuff like Falcon, characters like Quake. Anyone who wants to play Quake is going to be a playable character. Stuff like War Machine. War Machine's already been confirmed. She-Hulk has already been confirmed. There's a lot of characters that I'd like to see that I already know are coming. But this is just the list of characters that haven't been confirmed that I would like to see. I know the Fantastic Four thing is a bit of a cop-out, but they're all coming anyway. If you're gonna put one in the game, you're gonna put all of them in the game, so why not? Why not just go all the way? I don't know if they would do that because of rights, but hey, they own Fox now, so what's stopping them? What's stopping them? Apart from, like, just the amount it would cost to put in that size of an update. would be a massive feat. And also they might be saving the X-Men and the Fantastic Four for their own game. But also you're putting Black Panther and She-Hulk in this game. They are two characters that are intrinsically related to the Fantastic Four. And then you go ahead and it's like, oh, we're going to put Namor in it. That's another thing that's leading towards the Fantastic Four. And in turn that's leading towards the X-Men. So why not just put all of them on mutants in this game? Why not? You can do it. You technically can do it. I heard a rumour somewhere that there's apparently going to be 200 global characters at some point in this game, which I don't know if the game will survive that long. I don't know if that's like something that might be more likely if they do an Avengers 2. If they do an Avengers 2, I don't think Square or Crystal Dynamics would want to do an Avengers 2 anywhere in the near future because of how the game is doing right now. And spoiler alert, the game is not doing well. It's not doing well at all. But the game needs content. The game needs content drops, and character drops mean content drops in this game, or in this kind of game. And the thing is, we know that the developers are working this. That's what we know. And the thing that I've seen in dead streams is people just like, where is the content? Where is the content? Where is stuff? We want this stuff now. And I'm not making excuses for the developers, I'm not making excuses for people working on this game, but we are in the middle of a pandemic. We're on the tail end of the pandemic now, but we're still in a pandemic. People are still working from home. People making this game on like home laptops. I still think it's a feat of engineering that this game's even out right now, and it's been updated, and they've made a new character for it. The fact that they've made 7 characters that all play well for this game. The fact that I feel like that is kind of a good thing. There would be way more if there wasn't so many setbacks. And yes, the game shouldn't have come out when it did. It needed a little more time in the oven. If the game came out in say October instead of September, then there would have been a lot of things cleaned up from the launch. The game still would have been a contentless, dry mess, but it would have been a mess that wasn't broken. But yeah, this game needs it needs a doctor to just take the chest clamps and just give it a jolt. This game needs a jolt of life, and I don't know if that will come with Hawkeye, with Clint Barton. I don't think it's the smartest idea to release 2 characters that are so similar, so close to each other, or have one character be released and have that be Hawkeye, and then have the next character release be Hawkeye again, because it would feel like if they do put She-Hulk in, and then have the next character release be Red She-Hulk, that's what it would feel like. Or if they put in Daredevil and the next release would be Elektra, that's what it would feel like. Either release both characters at once, or give us some breathing room. Give us a character and then the next character be someone who's completely different. I don't know, Clint could be completely different from Kate. I don't think he will be, but that's just me. The look of the story stuff with Clint looks really good. The promise of a raid, the promise of Spider-Man soon, the promise of all this stuff is really good, and it all looks really promising. But then again, they have to deliver that. They need to actually, with the mess of the launch, they now need to look at what went wrong and take on board the criticism of there's just not enough to do. And in the next update, I know making a game is difficult. I know how difficult it actually is. And I know making a game like this is doubly difficult because you're kind of expected to release a new game each month. And maybe that's my fault for expecting a lot more for expecting the same kind of thing from a AAA game as I would from like the mobile games. I did expect that the Kate Bishop storyline would be around 7 hours long. I did expect it to take a bit longer than it actually did, and maybe that was my fault. Maybe I didn't know what I was going in for, and maybe that's a fault from the developers as well, to not let people know what the plans are for updates and what is actually, what kind of game they're actually playing, and what the focus is and what the focus should be. Because where I'm at now with the game, there's nothing to do. There is nothing to do apart from grind every character for a non-existent end goal. The end goals are the gauntlets, and what's the point of doing the gauntlets if I can run every gauntlet with Iron Man and ace them all? And then when I run in with Captain America, I die on the first floor. Because I've built Captain America to be a defensive character, to be a tank, and defensive characters and tanks don't work in this game. Why would you give me the option to build defense if defense doesn't matter? That's kind of my takeaway from the months of playing Avengers. I'm still going to stick with the game. I still want it to thrive. I want it to do well. I want an Avengers game. I want a Marvel game, a AAA Marvel game to be really good. And this is the kind of game that I would champion. In any other facet, I would champion this game. I would say you should be playing this game because of all the stuff that you can do in it. I feel like given like a few months, when Clint launches, when Black Panther's in the game, when there is a raid, when there is multiple raids, when there's a lot more mission variety, when there's a lot more stuff in the game, and it's all a question of when, and that's what we don't know. We don't have a when. But anyways, with that being said, that's my list. That's 5 characters, or technically 8 characters I want to see in Marvel's Avengers. But anyways, see you guys in the next one. Peace.